So, hello and welcome to the Mundane to Magical Online Summit. And as you know, I'm the host of the summit, Louise Matson. I hope you're enjoying the summit so far. I know I am. The intention behind this summit, as always, is to provide you with the perfect speakers and the perfect messages to assist your reawakening journeys and raise your frequencies so that you can embody more of your divine radiant light. This season, as with last, Spirit has guided me to speak on this summit, and as always, I follow Spirit's guidance. As most of you know, I was born knowing who we are as spiritual beings, and my soul path took me on a journey of denying my truth and fully experiencing what it's like to disempower myself and to allow others to disempower me. My sole purpose is to assist people to understand who they truly are as sovereign creator beings and realign to their purpose and true potential. To guide and assist people along their path from disempowerment to standing in their sovereignty and radiating their light openly to the world. I am an intuitive conscious channel, conduit for energy healing, wayshower, spiritual mentor and guide. And the topic for today's conversation is trust, faith and surrender. Something I've been learning to embody over the past 4 years of my accelerated reawakening journey. Please feel free to ask any questions that you might have in the chat box or the Q&A box, or raise your hand at any time. I've also been guided tonight to share with you a channeled healing journey to assist you all to embody divine trust, faith and surrender and unlock the portal of divine truth within you all. So it is my absolute honour and privilege to be here with you. And the topic has been one of those topics that's just been running throughout my life. It's one of those things that I would have Spirit telling me time and time again, trust and faith, to the point where I was like, enough with the trust and faith. But it was because I didn't have trust and faith within me. As many of you know, I came in aware, connected, and I shut it all down. I shut it all down like a lot of people who, as children, would connect with guides, would connect with the elementals, quite happily living that life, that expanded life in both worlds, you know, the very much mundane third dimensional world and the very magical other realms that exist around us and within us all the time, that so many people at this moment in time are closed off to. And I shut it all down to fit in and to be loved, and that again is what a lot of people do. And for me, it was very much a fear-based program, because I was told that I would be locked up if I continued to behave and talk in the way that I was as a small child. And I think it was Sanjay Nima who said that a lot of the trauma, a lot of the original woundings for this lifetime, and that's not to say that we don't bring energetic woundings through from other lifetimes and through the ancestral line, because we do, but a lot of the ones from this lifetime are created very, very early on in our childhood, and I certainly know mine were. I literally locked that magical aspect of me away in a box, you know, that ability to connect with my truth in a box, and I wasn't going to go anywhere near it, because to me it was very unsafe to actually listen to that guidance and to openly share that guidance with the people around me. And unfortunately, you know, this is the case with many, many people. We have beliefs ingrained in us at a very early age. And like I said, my journey is one of denying my truth, therefore disempowering myself and allowing everybody else around me to disempower me. And again, this is just something that we're trained, you know, as children, we're trained to give our power away to our parents, to our teachers, to the elders in society or those in authority. You may be very aware of your own natural rhythm, natural flow, and yet you're told you must go to bed at this time, or, you know, you've got to eat all this food, and your body's saying, but I don't want that bit of food. And yet, you know, you're being forced to eat something on the plate. And so, you know, because we give in, because we acquiesce, we allow, because we're trying to gain love and fit in as children. And these are the people in authority. These are our parents. These are the people who are there to love and nurture and support us. We're giving our power away, and that's what we're being trained to do our whole lives. And in the end, we end up giving our power away to all sorts of things, to money, to ideas and concepts, to people. And so most people actually live a path of disempowerment. And most people's journey of ascension is to reclaim that power, to actually reclaim their truth and stand in their sovereignty and live from that soulful, connected self. So if you've always been experiencing disempowerment, you've always been disconnecting yourself from your truth. You may have done it consciously, as I did, or it be a completely subconscious thing that's happened naturally over time. But this disconnection from our own internal guidance system, and I know Spirit have often told me that it's like your due north, your North Star, as it were. It's your internal compass, your guidance system. They show me like a radio dial, and there's loads of white noise, basically distortion within the field that gets built up through all these woundings, all this suppressed energy, all of these times when we've given our power away, and we've lost aspects of ourself, we've lost aspects of our soul through traumas, whether it's actual physical traumas or whether it's perceived traumas, just through the act of disempowering ourselves. And so all this distortion gets built up within the field, and this radio dial on the one side is like ego FM, your personality self. And that's the compass that most people live their lives by. And that's the compass that has been designed through our lives to fit in with the society that we live in, the culture, the religion, whatever it is. On the other side of the radio dial is divine FM. And that's how they show it to me. And that's really your truth, your connection with yourself as that sovereign creator being, that God spark, that individuated divine spark. And in the middle, between the two, and regardless of how old you are, there will be an immense amount of distortion, like white noise. And I don't know if you remember years ago when you used to have to dial in your television sets, and it would be fuzzy, and then you'd get a zigzaggy picture, and then it would get clearer. Well, that's exactly what that field is. And so most people are living connected very much to ego FM, connected very much to their heads, their thoughts, and all of those belief systems and everything that we've been taught and built up. And very much disconnected to this divine FM, which is our own internal guidance system, our own truth. And I mean, I know I would completely ignore what my body was telling me, what my heart was telling me, what every ounce of me was saying, whether it was completely ignore it to do something or to not to do something that I was being guided to do, because my head, my ego FM, which I was tuned into deliberately, was telling me, oh no, that I don't know what's on the other side of that, or no, everybody else is doing it this way. You don't want to be the only one moving in that direction when everyone else is walking in this. And that's all part of, just building up more and more of this white noise. And part of the aspect of ascension is developing trust. Trust is an essential component of our ascension journey. Trusting that inner guidance, that inner compass, those thoughts, those feelings, those nudges, the signals that we get from the universe, the repeated numbers or the feathers that we see or the coins that we find, or you pick a card and it's got this, amazing wisdom. And in that moment, you have that clarity. It's then about trusting that, developing that trust, that ability to trust in that, the unseen realm. And sometimes going completely against everything that you've been brought up to believe to be the truth, and that is going against everything that everyone around you is saying and doing, and everything that you've brought up to believe is right to say and do. And allowing yourself to take those steps. Now, trust is really essential, but it takes courage. It takes courage on this journey. That's why, it's the road less traveled. That's why it's something that you kind of have to be committed to. And whether or not somebody actually, because we're all on this planet, which is ascending, the planet is raising in frequency, and we cannot be out of resonance with the lowest vibrational aspect of ourselves, and this planet, the earth, is the lowest vibrational aspect of ourselves. It's the physical realm. Everything is energy. We're all energy, and everything is us. We are part of the all that is, whether the all that is an animal, a plant, a rock, a human. It doesn't matter. We're all one ultimately. And so we can't be out of resonance with our lowest vibrational aspect of self. And as the earth is raising in frequency, that's why so many people are being pulled, called, nudged, feeling that rubbing, that friction. It's a bit like an oyster shell with a bit of sand in it, because we're wanting to create that pearl. We're feeling the friction so that we actually transform, we actually transmutate into our most radiant, highest vibrational self. And that friction is the heart. It's basically that dial, Divine FM, going, hello, this isn't right, this doesn't feel right, this isn't in resonance with your truth. And because the earth's frequency is raising, we're being called to raise our frequency too. But we have free will. So whether we choose to go on this path of ascension and actually raise our frequencies, stand in our sovereignty, take back our power, and make those changes and develop trust, it depends on our commitment. It's our free will. And some people will say no to this journey, and that's absolutely fine, and there's no judgment on that. And I know, looking back on my journey, I yo-yoed back and forth. There were times when I was like, yeah, I'm all in. Oh no, it's got a bit too much, and I'm backing off a bit. And oh, why can't I just go back and live in this world where it was really simple? But now I'm aware of kind of everything. I'm aware that you can't go back when you start walking on the path. But that's why it takes courage. It takes courage because you're being called to step out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone's been created by your personality self, and it's limiting. It's limited because the personality self only knows what it knows. It only knows what it has learned. And you're being asked to push those boundaries and step beyond that into the wider knowing, into what your heart knows to be the truth. But because there's all this white noise and you're not fully connected to that, you don't see it. It's not tangible. You can't kind of really hook into it and go, yeah, that's the truth. Not in the early stages. And so it takes that bit of trust. It takes courage to have that bit of trust. And then as you build on that, and as you listen to that guidance, and as you consciously make those intentions and commit to this journey of connecting with your truth, and as you allow that Divine FM to come through a bit clearer, and you do the clearing to make it more clarified between Ego FM and Divine FM, and that clearing can be clearing your physical body, listening to your body, listening to your inner guidance on changing your diet, filtering your water. It could be anything. It could be loving yourself more. It could be taking a bath, a nice long bath, or saying no to somebody, whatever it is. But it can also be actually clearing, and it often is, clearing those beliefs. So looking in your external landscape, seeing where you're being triggered, that's that friction, that's that dissonance between your truth and the reality that you're existing in. So like the ego's truth and your truth. And actually looking at those triggers and really going into them and having an awareness of what quality it is that you're being called to look at. Because whatever is happening in the outer reality is a reflection of your internal landscape. So whatever is rubbing up against you on this outside, it's rubbing up against you in here. And it's really just saying, hello, here's a block that's ready to be released. Awareness is the key. When we have awareness of something, we can do something about it. You know, we can only do something about it when we have awareness of it. But one of the things that Spirit's told me recently over the last few months is awareness is not only that beginning point of clearing and releasing something. Say you've been triggered by something that's happened during the day, and then you break that down and you go, oh, actually, okay, I understand what the quality is behind that. That awareness is not only the start point of your journey into clearing and releasing that energy, wherever it's held in your field. It could be held in your physical body, it could be held in any of your 7 layers. You know, your physical, your etheric, your emotional, mental, or spiritual layers. But it's also the residue of the memory of having cleared it. So time isn't linear. Everything's happening in this now moment. This moment holds the past, present, and the future. So there's an aspect of yourself that already knows that you've cleared it. There's an aspect of you that has cleared it in this now moment. So at that point of awareness, part of you may be on that beginning of that journey, but there's an aspect of you that's at the end of it. And so that awareness point is a time to rejoice, because that's when you know you've cracked it. At some point, you just have to walk the walk. But at some point, you've released this energy that's blocking you because you've got an awareness of it. And so this clearing process literally can be looking at all the beliefs. And one of the one of the things that I did was I wrote a list of everybody in my life who triggered me and what the qualities were. And I owned them. I acknowledged them. And with love, I let them go. And the interesting thing was that a lot of them had belief systems attached to them. And those belief systems had people's voices behind them. So I quite often heard the voice of my dad or my mum or my grandparent or a teacher or somebody. And that's really, really useful, because in the clearing process, it's really important to disassociate yourself with those beliefs. They're just things that you've learned. You know, you didn't, yes, we've come in with energetic signatures of things that have happened in past lives and things that have come through on the ancestral line, which a lot of people are clearing now. But ultimately, as a baby, you didn't come in with the belief that, you know, does my bum look big in this nappy? Or if I take a few steps and I fall down, then I'm a complete failure and there's really no point in me trying to do that again. Those types of things are beliefs that we learn throughout life. And quite often when we're doing the clearing process, we can latch on to, connect into, because you're doing this with conscious intent to clear and release the voice of the person that you've learnt it from, or voices. And so you can disassociate from the belief and say, well, that's not actually mine, you know, and then hold it up like a balancing scale and say, well, how does this feel? Does this feel like my truth or not? And that is an essential skill. You know, that trusting, that discernment. Discernment is an essential skill, but it's that trust in, actually, no, this doesn't feel like mine. This doesn't feel like my belief. And therefore, I get to choose whether I continue to live my life by it, to follow it, or whether I get to lovingly let it go. Now, you're probably not going to do that on the first go. It's probably going to take a few attempts. And that's the other aspect. You know, trust is one essential component of the ascension journey, but faith is another. And faith is developed over time. And faith is developed over time by listening to your inner guidance and taking action on it. Trusting in your inner voice, trusting in those signs and signals and metaphors that the universe is giving you, trusting in those feelings and sensations, your gut feeling, your gut instinct, and following it and allowing yourself to be guided by it. Because like the ego has learned through a very basic learning process, we can retrain it. We can retrain the ego to release and let go these distorted, discordant belief systems and retune into our truth. And that's done through practice. That's done through continuously taking those steps in alignment, building the evidence up, having that conversation, not shutting your personality self out and saying, I'm not listening to you, I'm going to ignore you. But actually, the whole journey is bringing your egoic self and your divine self together, because we incarnated in a physical form. And for as long as we're in this densest layer, we're going to have that personality self. So it's not about pushing it aside, ignoring it, and trying to get rid of it. It's bringing it along. It's bringing it on board. And that means building up this evidence base. And there's a point where, some people say you've got to fake it to make it. And it's kind of like that, but it's trusting in the guidance when it's really nebulous, when it feels really intangible, until you've had enough experience and enough evidence at trusting it, that it then starts to take more of a form, and it stops being just a cognitive concept that you've heard and feels right, but you don't really, it's not embedded, it's not been embodied within you. But it's like taking it from that very nebulous kind of cognitive understanding of something and bringing it down into just that deep knowing, that absolute deep knowing that this is my truth. And when it gets to that point, that's faith. That absolute deep knowing that something is right, something feels right, something feels wrong. This is my truth. This is what I believe in. That's when it becomes so much easier to take those steps. And that process doesn't have to be massive leaps. And in fact, at the beginning, it's not going to be. I doubt very much that many people will take a massive leap of faith at the very beginning. You have to have built some kind of a relationship up with yourself, with your soul self, to have that connection, to be tuned into Divine FM enough to go, yeah, okay, I'm going to go with that. Either that, or you've got some big kahunas. You're really courageous, and there's not many people that take that leap in one stride. Most people take baby steps, and again, it's perfect. Everybody's journey is perfect. And so it's not about comparing yourself to anybody else's journey either. Everyone else has gone through their own perfect journey, and this is yours, and this is where you're at with everything that you've gone through. I mean, it took me many, many, many years, and many nudges from spirit to leave my abusive relationship. And there was a point when I looked back on that and I thought, oh my goodness, what a waste of time. God, I could have left that 5 or 10 years earlier. I could have been in a completely different place. But my perfect journey was to experience those lessons again and again and again and again, so that I can assist people. If I did things like this and it was dead simple, I wouldn't be able to relate to those people who struggle and do the yo-yo dance. So there's always a reason behind things. And so it's not about judging your own journey. Everyone's journey is absolutely perfect, and everything in perfect timing. And it is about developing trust and developing faith. And then the last component is surrender. And surrender, again, comes with courage, but it also comes with clearing out enough of the blocks that you feel that sense of truth within you. Quite often for me, I really struggled with this. I really struggled to surrender, to trust. I mean, one of my core beliefs was, and I really clearly can hear my dad's voice, trust no one. No one can be trusted. And that was a core belief that I grew up with. And like I said, I was really proud of the fact that nobody knew me, because I was proud of the fact that I didn't trust anybody enough to let them in. And it was this massive self-protection thing that I had going on. Walls and walls and walls built up around my heart, like most people. So surrendering was really a hard lesson for me. But again, it's one that I've had a lot of practice in over the last 4 years on this accelerated journey. And the one thing that I've realized is that actually, when we surrender, everything flows. It's that point when you surrender your personality self-will over to God, universe, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter, they're just words, over to divine will. Surrender isn't giving up. No, absolutely it's not. It is not giving up, not at all. It's actually allowing yourself to fully connect with your own individuated spark, your God self, and allowing yourself to be guided, allowing yourself to connect with the truth that, you are the creator of your reality and that the universe has your back. And that everything is perfect, and all of those go-to statements that got me through. Everything's perfect in perfect timing. This too shall pass. Whatever it takes to get you through, but surrendering to the process of letting go of what has been your identity, to reconnect with your truth. That at this point on the line, you don't really know what it looks like. Surrender is a beautiful thing. It's allowing yourself to be held. Surrender is opening up. I'm getting like a flower opening up and allowing yourself to be held by the universe and saying, yeah, okay, I'm handing this over. What will be, will be. And I trust and have faith that this is perfect. Many times, my big surrender moments come with very, very physical symptoms, because for me that has always been the thing that stopped me dead. I was quite happy to go through different experiences, but when it came down to actually having physical experiences, it got too close to my core wound of being locked up for being mad. So fear would just turn off that switch completely. But when I allowed myself to surrender to whatever was coming up, whether it was, racing thoughts, heart feeling like it was going to pound out of my chest, literally feeling like I was going mad, but so many different physical symptoms, pain, all kinds of things. When I surrendered and I gave it up, it was like, okay, quite literally, if I'm going to die, then okay, I'll die. It's fine. Because I trust and have faith in who I truly am, and I surrender to this whole process. I surrender to the emotional letting go. I surrender to the feelings of madness. I surrender to the physical symptoms. I'm going to fully allow myself to experience it. I'm not going to resist anymore. I'm not going to avoid it. I'm not going to distract myself. I'm not going to push it aside. I'm going to be fully present in this moment with whatever's going on, fully surrendered, and I'm going to allow myself to be held. And what will be, will be. And at that point, everything just passed. Everything just eased off. Allowing yourself to fully surrender to what's coming up and letting it flow through you. That is our truth. Energy is not static. Energy flows. We make things more difficult for ourselves through not surrendering in each moment, not allowing that energy to flow, blocking that flow, whether it be an emotion, a thought, a physical release through our body. When we try and make sense of it, when we try and stop it from happening, when we try and reduce it, or whatever it is that our human self is trying to do, when we give it up and go, okay, in this moment this is exactly perfect for me, then you've let that energy go. You've allowed it to release. You've allowed it, honored it, expressed it, and it's gone. And it's also, connecting with our truth is not only, getting that guidance and doing what we're being guided to do, as I've been with this summit, as I've been with doing this call, but surrendering in each moment. Every moment is the only moment that exists. This now moment is the only moment that exists. The past is gone. The future's just a theory. It doesn't exist yet. So when you fully surrender to this now moment in your life, and you fully surrender to exactly what's coming up for you, the emotions, the thoughts, everything, who you are in that moment, and you allow, without judgment, in this moment I'm angry, in this moment I'm upset, in this moment I feel like this, and you allow that process and you just flow. That is you being that open conduit. The truth is, we're energy. We are energy. We're an energy field. We're an energy body. And energy wants to flow. And so surrender is such an essential component of the ascension process of raising your frequency, because it is because we've held on, because we've blocked, because we've repressed and suppressed energy, that the energy is stagnated and, creating issues for us, be that physical symptoms that are showing up, or emotional and mental symptoms, or just the fact that our vibration is really low. We're running on a battery that's just depleting and depleting because we're not open to allowing ourselves to receive. Surrendering enables that full flow of energy in each and every moment. It enables you to receive energy through you, to you, and give from you with unlimited ability. And that's allowing yourself to receive everything. And yeah, Karen says it's got an excitement. Surrender's got an excitement behind it because of the faith that's been cultivated. Absolutely. Absolutely. So surrender is the opposite of doubt, because doubt is the resistance to the guidance that you've been receiving. So trust, faith, and surrender are three of the core components of the ascension process, of reconnecting with your truth, of shifting your dial from ego FM to divine FM, and actually living your soulful life. Has anybody got any questions that they want to ask, or anybody want to make a comment on that? Because I do have a channeled healing journey that came through the other day. I was being interviewed by somebody else, and that channeled journey came through for that, and so it felt right to share it in this arena as well. No questions, no comments? Oh, thank you, Karen. Karen just says that was beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so if nobody else has got any questions or comments or anything that they want to raise, Jenny's just said beautiful insight and wisdom. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Then I will go ahead now with the guided journey. And then after that, if you have any questions or comments or anything, or you want to share anything, then yeah, feel free. Okay, let's just bring this up. All right then. So if you're just like to get yourselves comfortable, it doesn't matter whether you're lying down or whether you're sitting. And just allow any elements of your day that may still be impacting on your mind or your emotions, just allow them to release. And I want you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose, releasing out through your mouth. And just allowing yourself to center in your body, in the space that you're in. And just see, sense, or imagine yourself being held within a pyramid of light. And as you allow that pyramid of light to form around you, you notice that the pyramid of light surrounding you is reflected below you, creating an octahedron around you. So just taking a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just allowing your awareness to land on your physical form. And taking another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, allowing yourself to become aware of your energy body. Just allow yourself to become aware of the multidimensional spiritual being of light that you are. Allow yourself to become aware of all that you are. The aspects of you that are seen and known to the rest of the world. Those aspects of you that are unknown and unseen by the rest of the world, but known to yourself. And those aspects of you that are unseen and unknown by the rest of the world, and are also hidden from yourself. And as you allow this awareness of yourself as all that you are to fully expand and grow, you may feel yourself expanding in the space that you're in. And as you feel yourself expanding, just allow the octahedron that's formed around you, that pyramid of light that you stepped into, and the mirror reflection of that pyramid that extends below you. Just expand as your awareness of your energy field expands and grows, so that you remain completely encased and held safely within this octahedron of light. We're now calling in your healing team, those divine etheric beings of light that are with you throughout this incarnation, assisting and helping you heal and clear all density, all blockages. The team of helpers that are here to assist you in embodying your highest aspect of self within your entire energetic field, including your physical form. Just allow their energies to enter, allowing your awareness to expand the octahedron for their energies to enter. You may see, sense, feel, imagine, or just know that your healing team has arrived in your sacred healing space. Now bring your awareness to the flow of your energy field, the toroidal field that you are, allowing yourself to become aware of the column of light running through the center as your energy field flows around you in the shape of a ring donut, flowing in both directions, down, around, and back up in a continuous cycle of energy, and flowing up, around, and back down at the same time. Now allow your awareness to focus on your physical body and any blockages or reduction in the power or flow of the energy within your physical body. Feeling where the energy may be sluggish or stagnated. This may be at the top of your physical body, at your head, and you may feel very little energy flowing throughout the rest of your form. Or you may have multiple pockets within your physical energy field of stuck energy, where the energy feels blocked, slow, or stagnated. Or it may be at the bottom of your physical form, where you may feel the pressure of the energy that's unable to flow freely, where you may be holding on to the energy within your physical body for fear that it will not be replaced. Now allow your awareness to expand out from your physical form, out to your emotional layer, and once again focusing your awareness on any changes and alterations to the flow of your energy. Is your energy flowing freely and easily? Or are there blocks within your emotional layer? Just allow yourself to see, sense, feel, or know. And once again, expanding your awareness out to your mental layers. Focusing your awareness on the flow of energy flowing through your mental layers. And being aware of any blocks, any disharmony, and any stagnation in these layers. Any lower vibrational thought forms, patterns, or beliefs. Again, just allow yourself to imagine, see, sense, or know. And lastly, extending your awareness out to the rest of your energetic field, to your spiritual layers. And focusing your awareness once again on the flow of energy. Is the energy able to flow freely to you, through you, and from you in a continuous cycle, replenishing, regenerating, and nourishing every aspect of yourself? Or is the energy blocked in some way, in some area or aspect of your field. Just allow yourself to see, sense, feel, or know. And now that you've pinpointed these areas of blockage, disharmony, or discord, your healing team now sets about working within your energy field, clearing and releasing. And as they work within your energy field, just allow yourself to be aware of a violet ray pouring down and into your auric field. And as the violet ray touches and spreads out throughout every atom of your being, it's collecting, absorbing, neutralizing and transmuting all of the lower vibrational energy, all density, and all of the blocks that are being released by your healing team. Just allow the violet ray to flow and descend throughout your entire energetic field, clearing and releasing all aspects that no longer serve you. Clearing and releasing all pain, density, beliefs, programs, trapped emotions that are no longer serving you and are blocking your transition onto your highest trajectory and the embodiment of your highest version of self within your energetic field and your physical vessel. You may be aware of your healing team working within your field. You may feel yourself getting warmer or colder, tingling sensations as the energy begins to flow. Or you may feel nothing. Just allow what is perfect for you. And now that your energy field is clearing and all the relevant blocks and distortions are being cleared and realigned, and the energy within your field is flowing freely, your energy field is now open to receiving from above and from below, from the source of all that is and all that you are, and the loving, nurturing energy of Earth. As we are currently incarnated within her physical plane. The violet ray rescinds as it completes its journey through your entire energy field and is replaced with a diamond white photonic light pouring straight from source, carrying the encodements and energy signatures of your individuated divine spark of the all that is, your source light that you came here to radiate out into the world. And as this diamond white photonic light flows down through your central column, filling your entire auric field, feel it radiating out throughout all of your many layers. And yet allow your awareness to center within your heart space. And within your heart space, see, sense, imagine, or know that a golden pyramid of light is forming. The lower left point of the triangular face of the pyramid is the energy of divine trust. Just allow the energy of divine trust to flow and expand within your heart center and throughout your entire being. Releasing all misconceptions and misperceptions of the lower vibrations of trust that we have come to understand and know as truth, and allow them to dissolve as you embody the true essence of trust within your energy field. Now bring your awareness to the uppermost point of the triangular face of the pyramid and open yourself to the awareness of the energy of divine faith. And allow the energy of divine faith to expand and grow within your heart center. Allowing that energy to flow throughout your entire auric field. Feeling the warmth building within your heart center, your physical form, your emotional, mental, and spiritual layers, as you embrace the energy of divine faith. Once again, releasing all misconceptions and misperceptions of what faith is, and fully embracing this energy into your auric field, allowing it to radiate within you and without. And now bring your awareness to the last apex point of the pyramid of light within your heart, and allow the energy of divine surrender to expand and grow within your heart center. Feeling yourself coming into deeper stillness, serenity, and calm, as the energy of divine surrender expands and grows, radiating out from your heart center throughout your entire auric field. And as this energy of divine surrender flows throughout every aspect of you, just feel those last resistances melting and falling away as you embrace the energy of divine surrender, releasing all misconceptions and misperceptions of this loving, nurturing energy from your entire auric field. As you release your will and allow yourself to flow with the luminescent energy of divine will, just feeling every atom of your body relaxing, releasing, and letting go. Now bring your awareness once again to the golden pyramid of light within your heart center. Become aware of how it has changed as you have embraced the energies of divine trust, divine faith, and divine surrender. And see that the pyramid has begun to spin. And as the pyramid spins, you become aware of a portal forming within the center of the pyramid. And this is the portal of divine truth. And if you're ready, you may now step through the portal of divine truth, connecting fully with the truth of who you truly are, the truth of all that you are, connecting with your monad, your soul family, galactic families, your soul purpose and mission within this lifetime, the gifts and wisdom that you bring forth, and gain insight, clarity, and awareness of your next steps as you step onto the vista of your highest trajectory. This place within your heart center, this portal, has now been fully opened, and you can return here anytime to embody and embrace the energies of divine trust, divine faith, divine surrender, and your own divine truth. But for now, we allow our awareness to step back from our heart center to our energy field within the octahedron of light, and our healing team who have been working within our fields all this time, realigning, clearing, and releasing. And we give them thanks as their energies step back from our fields. And we allow our awareness to fall once again on our physical form, our densest layer, and yet still completely divine. And as we take a nice deep breath in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, we allow our awareness to come back fully into the body, feeling the rise and fall of our chest and stomach as we breathe in and breathe out. And on the next in-breath, as we release the breath, we start to bring movement into our fingers and our toes, becoming aware of our energy in the space that we're in, whether we're lying down or sitting comfortably in a chair. And taking one last deep breath in, breathing out through our mouth, and gently allowing our eyes to open, and coming back into full awareness of this physical dimension. How are you all doing? You all back in the room? Karen's back. How's everybody else? Silence other than Karen. Oh, you missed some bits. You fell asleep. Jose, oh. Don't worry. You will have received exactly what your energy field needed. The healing team was working within your field. I was holding space for each and every one of you. And whether you're watching this on the replay or whether you were here live, it doesn't matter. It's still, the intention is the same. Your healing teams will come and they will do exactly what is required for you in this moment, for your greatest and highest good. What we call sleep is just deep trance. Yes, absolutely. Because you're back in the room now. If you were fast asleep, you probably wouldn't. Which may be the case for some, because I haven't heard from some of the others. In and out, yeah. Thank you, Drew. That was great. It was something actually that I channeled. I woke up one morning and I just started channeling it and did it, and it was unbelievable. It was so deep, and the sensation of just feeling that divine trust, that divine faith, just being embodied energetically in our fields. Sometimes we need energy work. Sometimes we need energy work to unlock the wisdom inside of ourselves, to enable us to connect on that higher, deeper level with ourselves. But a lot of the time, it is about us doing the physical work. And when I say physical work, it's, that every moment, connecting in, discerning, feeling into our truth, feeling into our inner compass, hearing that guidance and taking steps in alignment. But you know what? Not beating yourself up if you don't. I cannot recall how many times my guidance has been telling me to do something or to not to do something. And I've gone, you know what, I'm for whatever reason, I'm just not ready. I'm going to carry on doing what I know, what I feel is not in alignment with my truth, but is what is expected of me, but what feels comfortable to me, even if I know it's a distorted belief pattern or something like that. This journey, we're not going to get it the first time. It takes practice. It takes that commitment to ourselves to actually be able to continue to walk this path, connecting with our truth, following that guidance, living our soulful life, living our passion. And, don't judge yourself if you fall back into a normal pattern of being. Because, for some of us, for a lot of us who are on this journey, we're in our 50s, our 60s, our 70s, we've been doing this behavior pattern, following this belief system for decades and sometimes eons, because it is something that's come through from past life, is something that we are clearing from an ancestral perspective. So don't judge it, don't beat yourself with a stick. Again, surrender into the truth that, okay, I'm just not ready. right here, right now, I'm just not ready. But I have an awareness of what my truth is. I have an awareness of what the guidance is. And next time, because there will be a next time, it won't look exactly the same, but the universe will bring you that opportunity for you to actually embody that trust and that faith, to actually surrender in that moment and take that leap, take that step in alignment with your truth. And the more that you do that, the easier it gets, because the more evidence you can build up to say to your egoic self, do you know what, this guy didn't fall in when I did that, so come on, we're going to go with this one as well. I would never have had the courage and the faith to leave my job. You know, I was successful. I was a senior manager in the health service. I had very well paid job. I had status. I trained for years to do that, you know, to be that role. I had a mortgage, you know, I had commitments, financial commitments, but because during the run up to that point where and I knew that I was going to leave, but I wasn't ready to leave for about a year before I did. But during that year, I cleared an awful lot of my stuff. I cleared a lot of belief systems. I had the energy work done. I did the energy work on myself. I followed my guidance in those areas that felt safe. Spirit often shows me Russian dolls, like the big dolls that have a doll inside it, and it goes down to a teeny weeny one. That teeny weeny one is your relationship with your most, your most intimate relationship, your most risky arena to play out this connection, reconnection. It could be your relationship with yourself. It could be your relationship with your partner. Play out in these arenas of the bigger Russian doll, the biggest Russian doll first. You know, in those areas where it feels less risky to take those steps in alignment with your truth. But, you know, you're not risking your friends, your family, this, that, and the other. You know, you're going to make a decision. You have a thought, and then suddenly you see a feather, and that thought was something really seemingly quite trivial. Go with it, follow that. You know, that's one of those big Russian doll moments. The more you do that, you'll find yourself becoming closer and closer and closer, working your way in through those Russian dolls until you get to those areas where it feels a bit more risky. It feels a bit more, ooh, this is getting bigger, because you've played in these arenas that feel a bit safer, that you can take risks in. You've built that evidence, you've built that faith, you've built that connection with yourself. You've said to your highest aspect of self, I'm listening and I'm taking action. And I'm doing the clearing work, and I'm allowing myself to feel, and I'm allowing myself to follow my inner guidance, because I'm going to take the day off today, or I'm not going to do this thing that everybody expects me to do. I'm going to go for a walk because that's what I feel like doing. You know, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. When you build that faith, you can leap from this size Russian doll to this one, you know, you can take those bigger steps in alignment. And that's what enabled me to leave my job, because I took lots and lots of little baby steps that were safe to take. And I practiced in those arenas that didn't have this massive, massive impact on my core identity and my real intimate relationships. So that when it came to that point, I just knew. I knew I couldn't go back to work in that place. And I actually had the conversation with my manager that said, you know, because they were wanting me to come back part-time, and they, you know, again, your ego is going to create all kinds of things to keep you in your comfort zone. And, you know, if you like, the universe is going to say, are you committed? Are you really following your guidance, or are you going to stay where it's comfy? And, you know, I was being offered part-time work, all kinds of things for me to go back. And I said, am I going to be able to be my full self in this job? So, you know, am I going to be able to have my manager hat on and do the manager role, but am I also going to be able to be the one that channels messages through? And if I get a channeled message coming through, am I going to be able to speak that truth? And she said no. And then I said, well, that's it. I can't do it. I can't come back. And I knew deep in my heart, it wasn't a cognitive, oh, I think this isn't the right thing for me. It was a deep, deep knowing. And it was that deep knowing. It was that absolute faith that I was making the right decision, even though my egoic self was screaming merry hell over here, like, what are you going to do for money? Oh my God, da, 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 da. And I just knew. And therefore, all of the fear and the worry and everything that I had expected to come from that decision wasn't there, because I completely surrendered and trusted that the universe had my back, that this was the right action to take. It was completely in alignment with my truth, and that it would be okay. I would be looked after. I had no clue what it was going to look like. I had no, I'm going to take this leap of faith if it looks like this. There was none of that. I had no concept of what was going to happen. I just knew and trusted that it was right and went with it. And in all honesty, hand on heart, I have never looked back. And I've had an awful lot of realizations about, again, beliefs that I thought were my truth, that I know aren't my truth, that they were just beliefs associated with things that I've learnt through this lifetime and many others. And I've gained so much. And now, I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. There are moments where I still go, but now I do act in alignment with what I'm being guided to do. I may take a few, a little bit of a pause, but I do take the action. And I live my life in trust and faith that, I might not understand the meaning behind things right here, right now, but that meaning is going to come. And, a few steps down the line, maybe 50 steps down the line, I'll be able to look back and go, so that's why I was guided to do that at that time, because everything is synchronistic. Everything is purposeful in what we're being guided to do. Everything has purpose. So I'm going to end it there. It's now 7:15, and I don't want this interview to go on too long because it takes such a long time to upload. So unless anybody has any burning questions or comments or anything that they want to share, I will love you and leave you and wish you a great rest of your day. Karen says that she adores my authenticity in my way showing. No, well, authenticity and integrity, they're the two mainstays of my purpose, because that is what living your truth is. Being authentic, being in your integrity is living your truth. That is what standing in your sovereignty is. And it may look messy at times, and it may, not be exactly how you would like to show up in the world all the time, but it's your truth. And it's about honoring that, So that is the way that I way show, by living my truth. And in so doing, it's kind of like an energetic permission slip to say to whoever comes into contact with me, it's okay. It's okay. You know, the world doesn't fall in. Yeah, okay. I'm going to leave it there. Much love to you all. I hope that you found this session useful, beneficial. I hope that the message is received. Well, I know that the message is going to be received by the perfect audience, because that's the intention that I set. So thank you all for coming and joining me live. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you for watching on the replays and for tuning in and signing up to the summit. This is my service work. It's part of what I'm here to do. And in whatever way, shape or form I can assist you on your ascension journeys, you just have to reach out and connect with me. All right then, take care. Much love to you all. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Hi guys, I was just in the process of editing the video and uploading, and I realised that I'd forgotten to mention my special offer, which is a one-to-one session with me for an hour, plus all of the downloadable audio and video files for season 3 of the Mundane to Magical Summit. So if you are drawn to working with me and would like to access my special offer, then the link will be on the end of this video. I think it's, oh, let me just check, mundanetoMagicalLiving.com/Louise special offer 3. But I'll put it on the end of the video as well. All right then, much love, take care.